I was always kind of drawn to the goalie position, and my dad wouldn't let me play at first, but when I was about 10, he finally gave in and let me go in the net. He kind of wanted me to learn the game a little bit, learn how to skate and play the game properly first. My dad used to play, and he was a goalie. He's done a lot for me and helped me out. He can relate to a lot of the stuff I go through and try to teach me some things when I was younger. When you're a teenager and growing up as a goalie, you need someone to kind of teach you a little bit, and my dad was with me a lot to do that. I got drafted twice. First was Carolina. They had Cam Ward locked down for a long time, and that kind of opened up the door to maybe there was another team that would be interested. Me and my agents looked at about 15 teams with probably better chances of being a number one goalie on a longer term, and then ended up going back in the draft.
Tonight, 30 young men will hear their names announced, step up to the stage and fulfill a dream of becoming a pick into the National Hockey League.
Took a little risk, but I think it paid off well. Got to Anaheim and ended up breaking through it and get to play a lot. Obviously battled through with a lot of the goalies there. We had to part ways, I guess, and then I ended up in Toronto, which I was really happy about.
Can you talk about joining a team that's in 30th place? Can you talk about that challenge with this team?
Yeah, like I said, I'm very excited about developing with this group. I know how hard they work. Definitely, I think they were better than the standings are showing, and I think, yeah, it's going to be even be better next year.
Getting an opportunity to play every night, being number one goalie, that was the most fun for me, and Toronto was there to give me that opportunity. I have my routine I go through, try to relax throughout the day, and when I get to the rink, try to build my focus up and get in that zone where you feel good and stay focused on what I got to do and kind of keep to myself.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. The Leafs are in town to take on the Carolina Hurricanes, hoping to rebound after losing 2 consecutive games.
Your peripheral vision's got to be good, and you got to look around you and see threats all over the ice. So you got to pay attention to the guy with the puck, but you got to look for what shooters your D has, and the more experience you get, the better you become at that.
Noah Hannafin shoots, tip right on Andersen, makes the stop, loose power, and a tag save of Carolina. Freddie Andersen under siege, but he holds the fort as Carolina and Toronto are scoreless here in the first period. Steps on the poke check, Simeon scores! Zach Hyman pokes it home, and Toronto takes a 1-0 lead. Simmons just missed Nylander. Now Hainsey walks in. Hainsey fires, scores! Ron Hainsey snaps it by Ward, and it's 3-0 Toronto.
You got to learn to have a lot shorter memory, and I think being able to move on quicker. That's the biggest thing for a goalie. I think you can't worry about what happened in the shift before and make a good save or let in the goal. You got to get ready for the next one, because that could be the difference.
Andersen kicks that away, and time expires here in the third period. Carolina with a barrage in the final 5 minutes of the third, but Frederik Andersen holds his ground, and despite being badly outshot, the Maple Leafs hang on for a 5-4 win in Carolina.
Hell of a game. Yeah, not a good first, certainly for us. We picked it up in the second, and then obviously we're holding on in the third. He's been giving us all the goaltending he could ask for. He's been one of our best players for a while now, no question.
I think we have a good situation with me and Mac. We think we're really good with each other, and Mac is a really laid-back guy too. So he's good for supporting me. We chat about different things and we'll bounce ideas off each other, and we don't play exactly alike, but we can help each other out with different point of view.
I was just impressed with his demeanor, I think, more than anything. He's a big man, he covers a lot of the net, and I think the other thing that blew me away was how fast he can move. For a guy his size, it's incredible to watch. I think there were some kind of ebbs and flows to his game last year, especially early on, but the way he rebounded and he was able to handle some of those pressure situations at the end of the season really impressed me. Freddie's in a position where he's the #1 guy in a premier market, and you know, honestly, I haven't really held that position down at the NHL level, so if he's got questions that, you know, he wants to ask me, I'm more than willing to share my advice with him, but, you know, our situations are a little bit different in that respect. Having been on a number of teams now, you know, there's a lot of different personalities, and, you know, Freddie, he's certainly a little bit laid back, and, you know, he just kind of goes with the flow, but, you know, there's that inner fire there that I really appreciate in watching him now. For any kid growing up playing hockey, it's one of those things that's always in the back of your mind. I don't think you ever really know if you're going to make it or not, but you know, it was just one step at a time, and then sure enough, before you realize it, it's right in front of you, and next thing you know, you're standing amongst some of the best players in the world.
Welcome to the 2002 National Hockey League entry draft.
I was interviewed by one team. The Calgary Flames were the only team that I talked to. It was convenient, being that it was my hometown at the time. I wasn't expecting to get drafted. I was actually out on a fishing trip, so I found out a couple weeks later. I think every kid wants to play in front of their parents and all their friends and family, so it was a dream come true to get that opportunity and be able to play for my hometown. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way I envisioned it, but it was still a good experience nonetheless. Having jumped around as much as I have, you tend to kind of relax a little bit more in the situations. Hockey's one of those very unpredictable sports. One day you're comfortable in your home, and then next thing you know, you're on a plane to a new city to meet 30, 40 new people and try and acclimate yourself and reallocate your family.
In front, McElhinney kicking out the right leg and denies Higgins the tying goal.
Enjoy the ride, have fun with it, and you never know when it's going to end.
McElhinney on the rebound is able to reach behind him.
Yeah, I hit the waiver wire there, and you know, there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of where your career is heading at that point. So for me, having gone from Columbus, which was up there in the standings, to Toronto, which was, you know, in a dogfight at the end of the year, it was exciting.
Obviously, it's one of those things where I get to continue my NHL career for the time being, so as far as my history goes, I know what my role is. I know Freddie's been doing a pretty good job, so hopefully I can go in there and do the job when he needs some time off.
You know, it's always nice to kind of be in the hunt for playoffs, and that's probably one of the most difficult things to learn as a backup goalie, is that, you know, there are certain situations that you get tossed into, and a lot of times you don't get a lot of heads up.
Andersen got hit. There's going to be a penalty to Tom Sestito. Andersen got hit hard, and he's hurt. There's the doc right there having a concerned look. So at 2 minutes and 1 second of the second period, McElhinney is in. Andersen is out.
It was a play that I saw him out of the corner of my eye. It was a read I picked up on, and I think that's one of those things that comes back to experience and just being in certain situations.
Pass Crosby, great save, McElhinney. That might be the save of the season for backup Curtis McElhinney on Sidney Crosby. Wow.
Those aren't situations you really draw up beforehand. You know, it was one of those moments where it worked out in my favor, and it'll obviously be a highlight in my career looking back when I do.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are going back to the playoffs with a whole day to spare.
Bob, the Leafs about to complete their fourth set of back-to-backs, and so far this season, almost perfect 6-1. Things certainly get tougher here tonight. Washington able to get in earlier. Toronto, of course, arriving in the wee hours of the morning, but it is all part and parcel of the National Hockey League.
When you go into the Carolina game, obviously, it's one where you've got a 4-1 lead and a 5-2 lead, and you hang on for a 5-4 victory. Certainly not the way they would have liked to have finished that game, but at the end of the day, it's a victory.
Although they did give up 47 shots last night, as head coach Mike Babcock alluded to, things certainly look like a Picasso. The next day, they're going to work on yet another Picasso here tonight, but it's not going to be easy with Washington at the Air Canada Centre.
crossing, but Tom Wilson gets some open ice. Ovechkin shoots. He scores. Ovechkin, can he shoot the puck? And he loves to play in Toronto.
You got to be very resilient. I think you have to be passionate about the position. You got to be able to bounce back from things very quickly.
Gardner waits, takes, scores!
I think everybody wants to be that number one guy playing on a nightly basis, but you know, for me, this role's kind of been something I fell into, and you know, I've learned to appreciate it. It's something I take great pride in now, and you know, it's a difficult thing to do, but you know, I enjoy it.
Ovechkin scores!
That was a game that was very winnable for us. I think it's just tough to get down 2 in the first period and, you know, make the boys have to fight back. As a goalie, you want to come up big and make a key save at a key moment, and just didn't get it tonight. It's tough.